On the news tonight, as Ondo workers celebrate May Day, Governor Akeredolu promises sustained dividends of good governance. President-elect Bola Tinubu vows to implement better welfare package for Nigerian workers. Ondo State National and State Houses of Assembly Election Petition Tribunal holds inaugural sitting Thursday. And from the foreign scene, United Nations warns of humanitarian breaking point as fighting rages.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on the news tonight. My name is Timile Falade and I say Happy Workers' Day celebration. Governor Akeredolu has assured workers in the state of more dividends of good governance through improved conditions of service. At the 2023 edition of Workers' Day celebration held at the Gani Fawemi Freedom Arcade Ground, Akure, Governor Akeredolu reaffirmed his administration's commitment to workers' welfare. The event has as its theme, Workers' Rights and Social Economic Justice. The report will come to you in the course of a bulletin. The last 6 years of Governor Oluwarotimi's administration as the governor of Ondo State has received applause from civil servants. They said the strategies adopted by the state government to improve the welfare of workers backed the sustained industrial harmony and peace that has been engendered in the state. Omoriola Humbeji will bring the report in the course of the bulletin. As still on Workers' Day celebration, Secretary to the State Government, Oladuniodu, has felicitated workers in the state on the occasion of Workers' Day, charging them to remain proactive and supportive to the agenda and policies of the present administration in the state. In a statement, Odu urged workers in the state to reciprocate the actions of the governor by providing needed support that would enable his administration carry out meaningful projects. Odu also called on workers not to relent in their efforts to deliver quality and efficient services that will yield outstanding and highly resourceful public service, while noting that the task of building a better Ondo state is a collective one and must be taken with all levels of diligence. She wished workers more blissful and stress-free celebration. She recited the present administration's dedication to more life-benefiting projects and programs that will make Ondo State exemplary and outstanding among its peers. In the meantime, the Vice Chancellor, University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED, Ondo, Professor Adesegun Fatosi, has joined well-meaning Nigerians to celebrate workers. Professor Fatosi, in a statement, called on governments and employers of labor to prioritize the welfare of the workers. He applauded Nigerian workers for being resilient despite the numerous challenges to the nation's economy, describing the Nigerian worker as a true patriot. Professor Fatosi commended medical and health practitioners who have chosen to stay despite the nation's economic challenges and appreciated members of staff of the university as well as leaders of various labor unions for their commitment to the vision of the institution. The Vice Chancellor of UNIMED assured staff of the university that the management will continue to give priority to their welfare. Now, Nigeria's President-elect Bola Tinubu has promised to join forces with Nigerian workers to ensure better welfare and working conditions, vowing workers will have more than a minimum wage. He also urged support for his soon-to-begin administration in fighting poverty, ignorance, disease, disunity, ethnic and religious hate. Tinubu said in a statement to mark Workers' Day that his renewed hope agenda for a better Nigeria was a covenant he was prepared to keep. The president-elect added that he would be a dependable ally and co-laborer in the fight for social and economic justice for all Nigerians, including all the working people. In the meantime, President of the Senate Ahmad Lawan has hailed Nigerian workers for their patriotism, commitment to nation building and resilience As they joined their counterparts around the world to mark the 2023 Workers' Day, Lawan said the workers have contributed in finding solutions to challenges and supported the efforts of government targeted at meeting the yearnings of the populace. He noted that the consistent patriotic stance of the Nigerian worker has enhanced peace and industrial harmony and provided a conducive environment for economic growth and development in the country. Recognizing that Nigeria still has many challenges to contend with, the President of the Senate urged the labor movement to continue to sustain the atmosphere of industrial peace and harmony under the new administration of President-elect Bola Tinubu, which will be inaugurated on May 29th this year. In a related development, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has lauded the efforts of the Nigerian workers in the development of the nation. Gbajabiamila said the Nigerian workers have paid their dues over the years. Therefore, they said to be celebrated always, not just on Workers' Day. He recalled the sacrifices of the Nigerian workers, saying such would not go in vain, noting that they would continue to reap from their good works. The President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Archbishop Daniel Oko, has called on government and the press to ensure that workers are treated with dignity and respect, and also provide them with favorable work conditions. Archbishop Oko stated the commitment of CAN to promoting the welfare and well-being of Nigerian workers. According to Oko, CAN recognizes the invaluable contributions of Nigerian workers to the growth and development of the great nation. CAN commended the resilience, dedication, and hard work of Nigerian workers, saying they have continued to drive the economy forward despite the numerous challenges facing the nation. CAN, in the statement, encouraged all Nigerian workers to continue to approach their work with diligence, excellence, and integrity, knowing that their labor is not in vain. Now the organized labor has demanded a review of retirement age for all public servants from 60 to 65 years and from 35 years to 40 years of service. The organized labor made the demands during this year's Workers' Day celebration with the theme Workers' Rights and Socio-Economic Justice. Past and present leaders of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC), as well as those of other affiliate unions, converged on the Eagle Square, Abuja, in commemoration of the 2023 May Day celebration. This year's May Day celebration will be the last to be held under President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. You're still watching Osrc News at 7. We'll take a quick break. Do stay with us. Glad to have you back. You're still on to Osrc News at 7. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. One of Nigeria's economy is undoubtedly in the contribution and output from the informal sector, with statistics showing that over 90% of employment is generated from this segment of the economy. Saeed Aribusala will bring a report which x-rays the role of the informal sector in the course of the bulletin. Lecturers, doctors, and other categories of civil servants under the Consolidated University Academic Salary Structure, Consolidated Medical Salary Scale, popularly known as COMES, Curtis Salary Scales, will benefit from an undisclosed percentage of pay rise. Minister of Labour, Employment and Productivity, Chris Ndigo, speaking during the commemoration of the 2023 International Workers' Day celebration at the Eagle Square in Abuja, noted that the workers will also be paid arrears of the increase from January 2023. Ndigo noted that these national salaries Wages and Income Commission was working towards the finalization of the increase. This, according to Ngige, is a demonstration of the government's commitment to improving workers' welfare and conditions of service, even without any industrial action, but a fallout of social dialogue. The inaugural session and commencement of pre-hearing conference of the National and State Houses of Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal for Ondo State has been fixed for Thursday, 4th of May, 2023. A statement by the Secretary, National and State Houses of Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal for Ondo State, Mr. Musa Adamu, said the venue of the tribunal is Court Number 2 of the Ondo State High Court Complex, Akure. Time of the sitting is 9 in the morning. Now back to the May Day story, where Governor Akeredolu saluted Ondo workers' patriotism. Governor Akeredolu has assured Nigerian workers in the state of more dividends of good governance through improved conditions of service. At the 2023 edition of Workers' Day celebration held at the Ghana Fawani Freedom Arcade Ground, Akure, Governor Akeredolu reaffirmed this administration's commitment to workers' welfare. The event has as its theme workers' rights and social economic justice.
International Workers' Day is commemorated every 1st of May in celebration of workers in Nigeria among over 80 other countries of the world. At the 2023 edition of the celebration, Ondo State workers gathered at the Gani Fawemi Freedom Arcade in colorful uniforms in celebration of the day. Governor Rotimi Akeredolu commended workers for their resilience and diligence, which has culminated in a progressive state. Governor Akeredolu, represented by his Special Advisor on Union Matters and Special Duties, Dari Arabaye, solicited for more support for the present administration for more dividends of good governance to be enjoyed.
I may bold to say that industrial harmony between labor unions and the state government in recent years is unequal and has engendered industrial peace in our state. It is my hope that this relationship will continue to grow stronger, resulting in more positive accomplishments in the years ahead.
Arabaye stated that government has put in place various workers-friendly programs, reassured the workers of a better deal.
Our administration not only believes in the welfare of workers, but has also demonstrated this abundantly and convincingly in many ways. It is worthy to state that our administration has extended the maternity leave for female public servants from 12 weeks to 24 weeks, also 2 weeks paternity leave for male officers has been introduced in the state. I therefore implore you to avail this government your continued loyalty and redouble the support we have enjoyed from you in the past couple of years.
Chairperson of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Victor Amoko, appreciated Governor Akeredolu for his genuine commitment to the welfare of workers through his various interventions and assured of workers' continued support. Goodwill messages were given by the State Head of Service, Ayode Ogundele, as well as some union executives.
The Nigerian Labour Congress applauds Ondo State government for her commitment and vision for Ondo State workers in paying salaries and as when due, regular promotion to workers and focus on unprecedented projects to improve the economy of the state.
We have the opinion that there is need for government to also, that is Ondo State government, to also replicate what the federal government has just done for workers by paying 40% allowance in the increase in the allowances of federal workers. So in preparation for or fuel subsidy removal.
Urge us all to begin to come to terms with the new normal and realities, which include digitalization of work processes, artificial intelligence, critical thinking, continuity in planning and personal safety and health, which are now paramount at workplace all over the globe.
High point of the event was March Parade by Workers' Union in Ondo State, which was inspected by the governor. The event also saw Governor Akredolu being decorated as a most workers-friendly governor, following his immense contributions to the welfare of workers in Ondo State. There were also free medical checkup, cultural display, among others.
One of Nigeria's economy is undoubtedly in the contribution and output from the informal sector, with statistics showing that over 90% of employment is generated from this segment of the economy. In this report, as the world celebrates Workers' Day, Osrc Sahid Aribusala x-rays the role of the informal sector.
International Labour Organization, in one of its reports, says there are 2 billion people across the world working in the informal economy. These workers, mostly in developing countries, do not have any social protection, decent working condition, and different rights at work.
A 2018 report by the International Labour Organization estimates that 93% of Nigeria's employment is in the informal sector. May the 1st of every year is a day set aside to celebrate workers, referred to as Workers' Day or perhaps Labor Day. But how well does the contribution of this sector fall under the spotlight?
It is easy to notice street traders, artisans, vendors, micro businesses, commercial buses, tricycles and motorbikes, domestic workers, market traders, among others, all operating informally.
I've been workers, but I'm based on my own hard work, because I know the government workers, I know collect salary, now my own work.
You think say the celebration, the May Day, it not to concern you?
Not to concern me, because I don't see anything that are benefited there.
Àjáde àwọn tó ṣe workers kò sí wọ́n ṣe máa lọ tó ṣe kọ̀dà làwọn á ṣe so nǹkan tó fi kàn wá nìyẹn kò nígbà yóò kàn ààrẹ pẹ̀tẹ́ báńkì ṣiṣẹ́ ìjọba kọ́ làwọn ṣe ìjọba rẹ so àlọ́ bí táwọn iṣẹ́ ìjọba tó ń lọ àwọn máa lọ bẹ̀ mọ̀ kí iṣẹ́ ìjọba kọ́ làwọn ṣe ọ̀kadà làwọn.
èmi ní workers day ìjọba ọkọ̀ mi lọ́wọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan mi lọ́wọ́ pé àwọn aṣọ́gbìn kan ló jẹ nínú.
ìgbà lé ní ṣùgbọ́n ìgboro gbẹ kò sówó ṣiṣẹ́ náà ní ṣùgbọ́n àwọn wọ̀nyẹn tó ń bọ́ wá ṣiṣẹ́ nínú báǹkì báyìí àwọn báǹkì máa bá wa ra nǹkan àwọn míì nǹkan já wọn bá wa ra nǹkan ilé wọn náà jòkó sílé ní òun ìjẹ́ kọjá yá òṣìṣẹ́ tara mi lè mi iṣẹ́ ti tara mi ni mo ń ṣe.
While the Road Transport Workers of Nigeria, NUPENG, Tricycle Riders Union, Union of Tipper and Quarry Employers of Nigeria, Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria registered their presence at the commemorative event for the Workers' Day celebration. Beyond the long speeches that characterize Workers' Day celebration, how does the activities rub off on operations in the informal economy?
If the salary of workers in Nigeria is buoyant, it will give us rough profit. So every one of the workers they will have the right to come to us and buy building material.
Stakeholders in the informal sector called on government across board to prioritize their involvement in shaping the nation's development.
We are partners in progress, and without transportation in any country, there will not be any development. That is the way I see it. In terms of assistance, like it is being done in every other state of the federation. Other states of the federation, the government used to assist them in their areas of operation. That is, giving them buses.
Whenever there is any increment in anything, the people that sell vegetable pepper in the market, they will equally increase the prices of their commodities. No price control in this country. If government is able to put price control to things, I think Nigeria will be a better place for habitation for us.
No doubt, Deliberate effort must be made by enforcing the rights of workers and placing friendly policies to meet the increasing yearnings of players in the informal sector. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has dismissed reports that it is considering the withdrawal of the redesigned new notes from circulation. In a statement, the Apex Bank's acting director of corporate communications, Issa Abumini, has described the reports as unfounded speculation, noting that there is no plan to phase out the three newly redesigned bank notes. The statement reiterated that the new and old currency notes have been circulating side by side, just as the bank has been taking delivery of a good quantity of redesigned banknotes from the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company Limited. It added that the avoidance of doubt, the redesigned and old notes will continue to be accepted as legal tender ahead of the December 31, 2023 deadline. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board says it would commence the release of results of Unified Tertiary Matriculation Board examination tomorrow. The board noted that the delay in the release of results was due to the fact that it wanted to ensure that all necessary screenings were completed. According to the board, it would be releasing the results of candidates who have taken the examination so far. He said as candidates check their results tomorrow, those who sat the examination but had challenges without being aware of such would not see their results but would instead see their notification for rescheduled examination. The examination body added that three categories of candidates who missed the examinations have been rescheduled for mop-up examinations. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control (NAFDAC) says it will investigate allegations of a cancer-causing chemical found in Indomie noodles. Health officials in Malaysia and Taiwan said they had detected ethylene oxide, a compound in Indomie's special chicken flavor noodles. Ethylene oxide is a colorless, odorless gas that is used to sterilize medical equipment and plastics and is said to be a cancer-causing chemical. In reaction, Indo Food, makers of Indomie noodles, said the product was safe for consumption. NAFDAC Director General Mojisola Adeyeye said the agency will begin random sample tests of the noodles and other brands from May 2nd, that is tomorrow. Latest information from Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM Chairman Mrs. Abike Dabiri Erewa says the borders of Egypt have been opened for Nigerians fleeing Sudan due to interventions from the office of the president. The news is coming after reports earlier today that the Nigerian Air Force was on ground to evacuate the Nigerians in Sudan, but they could not because Egypt's borders were still closed. The NIDCOM boss said the border has been opened with stringent conditions after President Buhari's intervention with the Egyptian president. According to Dabiri, the processing of evacuees by the Nigerian embassy in Egypt has begun and wished Nigerians from Sudan safe travels. In the meantime, Sudan's rival military forces have accused each other of fresh violations of a ceasefire as their deadly conflict rumbled on for a third week despite warnings of a slide towards civil war. The ceasefire has now been extended for 3 more days. The United Nations has sent its chief of aid, Martin Griffiths, who says humanitarian situation there is now reaching breaking point. Igbekele Ologun reports.
Foreign students run for cover in Khartoum. Like millions of others, they have been trapped in the city for more than 2 weeks. The United Nations is warning that Sudan is falling apart as the army and the paramilitary group, these rapid support forces, battle for control. There are shortages of food, water, fuel, and medicine. The Interior Ministry has deployed extra police officers in Khartoum to stop looting. But for what people really want is a permanent ceasefire So far, several foreign mediated truces have barely held. These are soldiers near a bridge that connects Khartoum north to the city of Omdurman. Both are under heavy bombardment as the area around the presidential palace and army headquarters. The Rapid Support Forces says it has destroyed a convoy of army vehicles near there in recent days. Every day, thousands of people decide it is no longer safe to stay. This rescue ship in Port Sudan is taking evacuees. To Saudi Arabia. Around 5,000 Syrians say they are being processed more slowly than other nationalities.
We've been here for 8 days. The evacuation of Syrians has stopped. The day before yesterday, only 27 people were evacuated. No Syrians were evacuated yesterday. We do not know what is happening and no one gives us a clear answer.
In origin, on the Egypt-Sudan border, satellite images show queues of buses waiting to take people across. Others have flown home.
On the first 2 days of the war, there was action in Port Sudan with a couple of jets flying over and some bombs landing. But in Port Sudan itself it was quiet, so obviously a lot of military action but no fighting. But everyone's tense, but even the Sudanese people we work with wanted to go back to normal because they just want their country to grow and prosper.
Former Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok has added his voice to those calling for an end to the conflicts, warning that it could deteriorate into one of the worst civil wars in the world. Igbekelu Logun, Osrc News.
And now to sports. Ondo State female youngster Opoyemi Oke has won the 400-meter event at the African Under-18 and Under-20 Athletics Championship in Ndola, Zambia. The former CAC Memorial Accra students clocked a lifetime best of 52.68 seconds to pick the gold medal. Another Nigerian, Ada Bright, came third. Team Nigeria has so far clinched 4 gold medals at the competition. Before we go tonight, let's remind you that as Ondo workers celebrate May Day, Governor Simi Akeredolu has saluted the patriotism and resilience and promised to sustain dividends of good governance. We told you that President-elect Bola Tinubu has vowed better deals to workers through the implementation of better welfare package for Nigerian workers. We informed you that the Ondo State National and State Houses of Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal will hold its inaugural sitting on Thursday, May 4, 2023. He also heard from the foreign scene that the United Nations has warned of a humanitarian breaking point as fighting rages in Sudan capital, Khartoum. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Good night.